Well, we're coming to you from a slightly different cafe because it is school holidays, and as part of this time I've been highlighting some of the most viewed videos on our Family First YouTube channel. And our previous episode, it was the most viewed. It was 1.8 million views of Dr. Norman MacLean explaining a first trimester surgical abortion. And perhaps no surprise, but the second video also is around the abortion issue. And these videos were released during the abortion debate when the government was ramming through one of the most extreme, most liberal abortion laws in the world, which is what New Zealand has. And it was a video, I mean, really the argument was, if you're going to try and defend abortion, and if you're going to get all upset because Roe v. Wade has been overturned, then you need to know what you're defending. And I think that's why the videos have been viewed so many times. And the second video that we're going to show is a second trimester surgical abortion. So that's somewhere around the 13 to 24 weeks. And to give you an idea, in the last 3 years, there's about 1,700 of these surgical abortions that are performed in the second trimester. Now, just a warning, probably not great viewing for younger people. Viewer discretion is advised simply because of the nature of what you're watching. But as I said, it's the second most viewed video on the Family First YouTube channel. And I think that's good because people need to know exactly what abortion actually involves. And it's Dr. Norman MacLean. He performed about 200 abortions at the start of his career and then never performed another one over a 40-year career. He did about 8,000 births, including 2,000 caesarian. So a very pro-life doctor throughout his career. And so Dr. Norman MacLean explains a second trimester surgical abortion.
I'm Dr. Norman MacLean. I did practice within obstetrics and gynecology for nearly 40 years. I've done in the area of maybe 8,000 births. That would include maybe 2,000 caesarean sections. I have performed abortions early in my career. Over that time I would have certainly done between 100 and 200 terminations of pregnancy. So I know about the technique. I am going to describe a second trimester surgical abortion. This procedure is called dilatation and evacuation. It is performed between usually 13 to 14 weeks and 24 weeks of pregnancy. After the patient is given a general anesthetic, the abortionist uses a weighted speculum, one like this, that opens the vagina widely. A late-term abortion requires that the cervix be prepared for 1 to 2 days in advance with either drugs or laminaria. Laminaria is a type of sterilized seaweed that absorbs water over 8 to 12 hours and swells to several times its original diameter. Once the laminaria is removed, the cervix will be further dilated using metal dilators, graduated metal dilators. Once the cervix is stretched open, a suction tube is placed inside the womb. This is connected to a suction apparatus similar to a vacuum cleaner but more powerful. The size of a 20-week baby is the size of the length of my hand from the head to the rump, not including the feet. The average baby at this gestation will weigh 500 grams. The suction machine will remove from around the baby the pale yellow amniotic fluid that has been surrounding and protecting the baby. Now, with babies this big, they won't fit through a suction catheter. The baby's bones and skull are quite strong. They cannot be torn apart by the suction alone. The instrument used to carry out the termination of pregnancy is a forceps, a grasping forceps. It is a metal, high-quality instrument, 13 inches or so in length. The active end of the instrument is about 2.5 inches in length, and it has teeth within the instrument which, when it grasps a structure, will not let it go easily. The abortionist uses this clamp to grasp an arm or a leg. Once he has a firm grip, the abortionist pulls hard in order to tear the limb from the body of the baby. One by one, the rest of the limbs are removed, along with other body organs, the intestines, the spine, the heart and the lungs. Usually the most difficult part of the procedure is extracting the baby's head, because at this stage of pregnancy, the baby's head will be the size of an average plum. It simply won't come through the cervix. In order that this is removed, one needs to crush the skull. This requires inserting the grasping forceps and placing it around the head and crushing the baby's head. That will, of course, cause damage and injury to the skull bones, and one will know that one has achieved that by observing a yellowish, creamy fluid moving through the cervix. That will be the brains of the baby. The abortionist then removes all of the skull pieces. He then removes the placenta and any other leftovers of the baby with a curette which scrapes the lining of the uterus. The abortionist then will collect the various parts of the body and reassemble them to check that there are 2 arms, 2 legs, and so on. Once all the parts have been accounted for, the abortion procedure is complete. For the woman, this procedure carries significant risks. Major complications can occur, including perforation of the uterus or laceration of the cervix, with possible damage to the bladder, the bowel, and other maternal organs. Infection and hemorrhage can also occur and is not rare. These complications can lead to massive hemorrhage, septicemia, and include death. Future pregnancies are also at greater risk for loss because of premature delivery due to abortion-related trauma and injury to the cervix and uterus. What I have described is an operation that will be done from 14 weeks of pregnancy through to 24 weeks of pregnancy. It's very gruesome. The reality of abortion, particularly second trimester, is very gruesome. I stopped doing abortions because I realized this is not right. This is not what I should be doing. This is not the medicine, the life-giving, healing medicine that I wanted to practice. And from that day, I stopped.